is Melody and welcome back to Strawberry Lemon. Tomorrow should be Lunar New Year if my scheduling plan works out. But yeah, happy Lunar New Year to anyone that celebrates. And today I have a TBR kind of video for y'all. It is a 2023 TBR from my physical books on my shelves because I have a lot of physical books that I still have not read and I think it's finally time to get to them. I am also a really big mood reader, so I decided to pick like different genres and formats and everything. So we have historical fiction, fantasy, sci-fi, romance, graphic novels, mangas, and all of that, just so that we have a little variety to fit my mood reader tendencies. But yeah, the first book that I have for y'all is Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho. This is a YA contemporary romance, I believe. And can we just look at this cover? It is so pretty. This follows Elena, who is in high school, and I believe prom is about to start, but she kind of has no interest in going or anything until Robbie Choi shows up at her doorstep asking her to go to prom. And Robbie Choi is her childhood best friend, but they kind of ended up losing touch, I believe, once he became a K-pop star, K-pop idol. But he's back, and he's back to fulfill his promise of taking her to prom, and I believe she says yes. And there's all the drama that comes with dating somebody in a K-pop group or K-pop star, and I'm just really excited for it. I ended up actually pre-ordering this book. So it came with these character cards of everyone in the boy group, all the members, and it just seems so cute. And the art of this, and I'm excited to finally hopefully get to this. The next book that I have, I've mentioned multiple times on my channel already and I still have not read it, and it is The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. This is a middle grade fantasy and it follows a girl named Marinka who is living with her grandmother, who is Baba Yaga, and they are living in a house with chicken legs, and they travel, I think, all over the world helping spirit souls from this world to the next. And Marinka ends up breaking her grandmother's rules one day, which causes her grandmother to kind of disappear, and she is trying to find her grandmother and just fix whatever she did. The next book that I have is a horror, and it is Monster by Duncan Swan. I heard about this book from Steph from Coffee Over Apples, and I believe the author has the artwork for a lot of the monsters and stuff in this book on his website, which I think is really cool. But Monster is about a cloud Armageddon. So this is kind of a dystopian, I guess, but something goes wrong in a research facility and it causes this cloud or like fog kind of thing to slowly take over the world, like creep its way through the world. And odd things are happening in this cloud, and I believe there are monsters and everything, and it just seems like a really interesting concept, and I really want to get more into horror. So perfect way to start off with a book that's actually on my shelf. The next book I have is a fantasy, and it is The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. And this I actually don't know too much about, but I do have the whole series on my shelf because I got the box set of this series, so I really need to get to this. But I believe it follows Megan, who is in high school, I'm assuming, and she kind of finds out that she is the daughter of a fairy king, and I'm assuming she gets swept into the fairy realm and everything, and all that happens there. I think there's a romance in this book too. Not totally sure about that, but I have heard that this book is kind of like the foundation of a lot of fairy books that have come out since this book was published, which I think seems really interesting. I think this came out early 2000s. This book came out in 2010, so I'm really interested to see what this series is all about. The next book I have is a literary fiction, I believe, and it is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha, and also another book with a beautiful cover. I kind of bought this book because of the cover, which, yeah, I kind of have a problem of buying books because of this cover. But this one was actually, I picked this out to be gifted to me by my brother. So I think that kind of helps. It was like a birthday gift from my brother. But this is about, I believe it follows 4 women in Seoul, Korea. Yeah. A riveting debut novel set in contemporary Seoul, Korea about 4 young women making their way in a world defined by impossible standards of beauty, after-hours room salons catering to wealthy men, ruthless social hierarchies, and K-pop mania. So I think it follows 4 women, and I'm assuming their lives might intersect at some point. The next book, I believe I have also mentioned on this channel before, but it is Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. It is a graphic novel, and the art style seems really cute. And this, like, even the back is cute, and under the desk, it's so cute. I just love it so much. But I believe it follows a chef whose world is kind of going upside down. Everything is going wrong until these magical mushrooms pop up, and it kind of gives her a do-over or a second chance. And she's not supposed to keep using these magical mushrooms. It's against the rules, but she breaks the rules and consequences happen and everything like that. Next up, I have an anthology, and it is A Tyranny of Petticoats, edited by Jessica Spotswood. I think I only have 2 or 3 anthologies on my shelves, but I have not read any of them. I don't think I've ever finished an anthology, actually. But yeah, this is a historical fiction, and the only authors that I recognize on this list is Marie Lu and Marissa Mayer. But it is, I believe it's in, 1960s Chicago, and I believe each story follows a different girl, and they are monsters and mediums, bank robbers and barkeeps, screenwriters and school teachers, heiresses and hobos. So I think it just follows these 15 women as they are trying to make it through life in the 1960s as a girl. The next book that I have, the next 2 books I have are mangas. So I have Spy X Family Volume 1 and Tokyo Ghoul Volume 2. So Tokyo Ghoul, I recently did a vlog reading Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1. I read it a while ago and I never picked it back up. So since I did a reread of Volume 1, I should probably get to the rest of the series finally. So yeah, I have Volume 2, and oh my gosh, this little bunny in the back is so cute. And then Spy X Family, I just got recently. I'm super excited to get to this. I read like the first 30 pages, I think, and it just seems super cute. But I also believe there's an anime, but I want to get to whatever volumes of the manga that are out before I get to the anime, and I'm planning on doing a vlog for both of these, reading the series for both of these. And yeah, the next book I have is a non-fiction, and it is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And this is a memoir by Jeanette McCurdy, and it just kind of follows her as she is growing up as a child actor and following her and her relationship with her mom, and I believe her mom pushing her towards the acting industry and everything. And I really love Jeanette McCurdy and Sam and Cat and iCarly and everything, so I think it'll be interesting to see what was really going on behind the scenes. So I will hopefully get to this soon, but I am waiting for the audiobook hold from my library. It is weeks, months long. I heard that Jeanette McCurdy narrates the audiobook herself, and I really want to read the physical book while listening to her narrate it. So hopefully I'll get to this one soon. The next book I have is a classic. I have a couple of classics on my shelves, and I kind of just picked the one that is the shortest, and it is The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. I believe this is about a prince and a pauper, and they run into each other and realize that they're like identical. So they end up switching identities, and I think it follows them while they do that. And correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong. I really don't know much about any classics, but yeah, hopefully we'll get to this one. And the last book that I have is a sci-fi, because I do love my sci-fi, and it is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I read this when it first came out. I think I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it, but the second and third book weren't out yet. I did end up purchasing the second book, never ended up purchasing the third book though, but I think it's finally time to get to it since I have the first 2 books on my shelf already. I think, if memory serves, it follows 2 people. They are exes, I believe, and they are on a warship? No, they are on a ship trying to flee from an enemy warship, and this follows like the AI on the ship as well. I think there's some weird things going on, and Katie can also hack things, so we see like a lot of confidential correspondences and stuff. And I think what really interested me in this book is kind of the mixed media format of this book, which I thought was really cool. I will hopefully get to both books since I own both books. And yeah, I think that is about it for this video. If you have read any of these books or you recommend me starting with any of these books, please let me know down below. Happy Lunar New Year again to anybody that celebrates. And I am planning on possibly filming a reaction video at the end of the year to see how many of these books I actually end up getting to. Hopefully all of them. But yeah, that is about it. I will hopefully see y'all in the next video. Bye!